So I thought I'd make a little video of my diesel heater. There's quite a few videos online, but I just wanted to show how I've put mine in and how efficient it is. So this is my setup. I've got it on a little shelf. Underneath there's air in, fuel in, let me see if I can point, fuel in, and then exhaust, which is wrapped and goes through a wall. Then you've got the heat out, which I've got into two ports. That's the controller, that's the fuel pump, and then mounted there is my diesel with a little filter at the bottom. And the way I've got it powered off of a 12 volt battery, which I put on trickle charge. So flick that on. When it's not trickle charging, that's trickle charging my car. But this also runs my amp for PC music. So yeah, so flick the heater on. You'll see the display then comes on. So what that's saying is currently in my garage it's 4 degrees, which is why I need a heater. Hence the you can see me blowing the cold air. It says I've got 13 volts on the display. And what I'm going to do is make a mark on the fuel. You can see how quick it heats my double garage, which, excuse the mess, but I'm just doing the wife's brakes while I'm out here. But it's just a normal size double garage. That's the marking and where the fuel is at the moment. Temperature is, well, it's gone up to 5 degrees. I don't know if you saw it flick then. And the time is 7 minutes past 3. So I'm gonna whack that on. And you'll see the startup process. I'm just gonna boot my PC up at the same time. So what happens here is, this is the display. This is the point where the glow plug starts to warm up. So nothing happens initially. I forgot to say this side here is just like air sucking in. Although it's got an air filter there, that's just a turbine. That's the connection block it comes with. The fuel pump is a little bit noisy. You hear it clicking depending upon what speed you have the heat set to. I have it set generally at 3 to start with, because that makes quite a big impact. And then you can drop it down to 1 or up to 6 using these buttons. I won't touch it until it fires up. But if you can hear, it's just making a whirry sound at the moment. So yeah, it just takes a few minutes for the glow plug, obviously depending on how cold your garage is. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause the video and we can go from there. Right, fuel pump has started making a little clicky noise. That's the sound, that's the pulse rate you generally get at 3. This is now it's now 10 past 3, so it takes about 2 odd minutes to fire up. It's a little bit of a boring video, but at least you get an idea of how it sounds and how it works. There we go, starting to get some warm air coming through now. Little bit of condensation, well not condensation, a bit of smoke off the heat wrap. I only heat wrapped it yesterday, so it's still going through its heating phase. I've got a carbon monoxide sensor to install in here just in case. But there you go, let's fill that now. Yeah, so that's pumping out some heat. So 11 minutes past 3, 6 degrees. That's the amount of fuel it's used. Now, that amount of fuel in that tank is a jerry can's worth. So, is that 5 litres? Obviously, I've had it running 2 times before, so this will be a good reference point. But like I said about the speed, if I turn that down, you'll hear the fan slow down quite a lot. Or maybe you won't initially because it's still on warm-up mode. But I'll show you that when I come back to it in a minute. Right, I'm back. Car's jacked up and on axle stands. It's now 22 minutes past 3. That's the noise of it on setting 3. Temperature's now 8 degrees. There you go, just to show you the time. And the fuel hasn't really moved yet, so I will come back in a bit. Aim is to get it to around 12 degrees, then I usually knock it down to number 1. I'll let you know how we get on with that. Oh, the other benefit of having 12 volt batteries, you can control your amplifier. So if you've got any sort of music, you can use that to supply the power. And then same way you'd wire it in a car, just on and off switches. Right, I'm back. Temperature is 13 degrees. Time is 3:59. That is the amount of diesel it's used. Oh, it's gone up to 14 degrees, there you go. So now, in that time, I've managed to get that far on doing one side of the brakes. So, just drop it down, oops, so you can hear the difference in the sound. So in the meantime, that is the model. It's a 5 kilowatt diesel heater, not an 8 and not a 2, it's a 5. There you go, you can hear the fan dropping right down now. There you go, and that's the noise you hear the pump. I'm going to probably wrap that in some sort of insulation. So now on number 1, that's basically my maintain heat. It'll probably increase still, but while I'm out here now, I'll just have it on 1. What I'll do a video at the end once I've done the brakes. Don't laugh if it takes quite a while, as soon as it's 20 to 4. But yeah, I'll come back in a sec. Alright, we're back. 15 degrees. 4:33. Fuel wise, it's used more than I expected. However, partly my fault. Bottom piece of pipe wasn't one that was supplied with a kit. I didn't cut it correctly and ended up using the piece I thought had a tight grip on the bottom pipe here, but it hasn't, so it's leaking. So that fuel is what it's used, plus that. Oh, there you go, it's just gone up to 16 degrees on heater 1. But I'm going to open the garage door now and spin the car around. So with these, you have to turn them off and let them do a cool down procedure. They don't like being turned off straight away. But this it's still pumping out warm air, and will continue to do so until the fan decides it's done its sequence. But yeah, I'm really impressed with it. It just takes the edge. Before I didn't want to come out and work in my garage, but yeah, as you can see, it's that's the size of my garage, and yeah, it takes it from, what did we say, 5 degrees when I come in to 16 degrees in 1 hour 20. But I haven't really been trying to increase the temperature, just maintain it. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed. Any questions, ping me a message. I think it was £133 on eBay. I'll put a link to the one I bought. There you go, it's just doing it. And yeah, all you do is, I used a 32mm core bit to drill it through, and then wrap the exhaust just so it kept it cool in case I touched it. But yeah, well impressed. I'd recommend it to anyone. And if I get another shed or garage, I'll buy another one.